Hello, welcome back to Things I Don't Like. This is episode 30 of Things I Don't Like, in contrast to the co-series Things I Like, where I talk about things I like. Okay, first thing I don't like. Headlights. Not headlights, high beams. Dude, when your high beams are in my freaking eyes while I'm driving, I cannot stand it. Holy crap. When I'm driving by you, turn off your high beams, just like I do. Common courtesy. I don't understand it. My freaking parents, when I was learning to drive, said, okay, when you're within like 200, 300 feet of another person, generally when another car is facing you at all, you turn off your high beams if you have them on. And I thought, oh, that makes sense, so they can see. But guess what? How many freaking people missed that memo? I don't understand. Did they just not tell you? Did that go over your head? Did the freaking DMV test? Did it not? You didn't think about it? You missed that question? What happened, man? What freaking happened? Because newsflash, you got to turn those off because I can't see. I cannot. I am driving along. I turn off my high beams. You're supposed to turn off yours. You don't, dude. I literally, where I live, it's foggy too. Oh my god, no visibility, none at all for like a long time, for like 150 feet. I can't see if you have your high beams on. Do you know how like scary that is? What if there's a person walking across the road? What if there's a deer in the road? Dude, I would completely miss it. And it's because of you, man. It's because of freaking you. And some people I know out there are going to say, oh, I always drive with my high beams on. And not because they're inconsiderate, but it's because they're considerate, but only of their own families. So there's some people out there, just like some people, this is another tangent, but some people who drive SUVs or trucks will make the argument, oh, I have a family, and this is the safest car for my family. Statistically, this car, if you get in a crash, generally the family's okay. You know why the family's okay in your car, generally? Because the other car it crashed with all died. They all died. Dude, it is so, like, the statistics for, like, SUV and, like, truck crashes are crazy. Because, like, if I drive a sedan, and if my car crashes into an SUV, I'm gone. That's like any car crashing into a bus. You're done. You're done for. It's the same argument. I mean, these people are like, oh, I keep my brights on because I got to be able to see when I'm driving. Yeah, dude. Me too. Please, just, oh my God, turn them off. Sometimes. You just have to flick them off for like 100 feet. I'm asking. I can't take it. And the other thing about this might be number 2 of things I don't like. New headlights. Man, I don't know when this started, but all of a sudden, I feel like 3 years ago, I'm not that old. I haven't been driving for that long. But I remember when I was younger, headlights were not the way they are now. I swear. I will be driving. I can't even tell what's brights and what's not at this point. Because I'll drive by a car with headlights that extend like, I don't know, 1,000 miles? Like, how is that even, like, how many lumens are packed into that little freaking knob on the corner of your car to where it reflects into my mirror and into my eyes for like 3 miles and I can't see anything at all? Like, what? Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I hate these new, like, white headlights that are in, like, especially if you're in a truck or an SUV. This is the other thing. You don't even have to have your high beams on in a truck or an SUV because you're so much taller than everyone else now that, like, it's always high beams. Like, it's, no matter what, it's going to be in my eyes. So when we crash into each other, you can see me as I die to your big car. I'm sure your kids are going to love that. Anyway, dude, I like lights on the road. I also have astigmatism in my eyes. It's very slight. It's not that bad. But, like, it does, when I look at light, it extends the light. So this might also be a lot of a me problem. But stigmatisms are pretty common. And even if they're not, those lights are still very powerful. But my point is, like, headlights and high beams and stuff, when they're in my eyes, like, they extend like this. And it genuinely, like, no visibility. I'm driving blind, 45 miles an hour on a narrow road at 9 p.m. in the fog, thanks to you. So if you drive, or have parents that drive, or a brother, make sure you remind them, hey, let's all be courteous of when we turn on our high beams. Because guess what? Most cars, you don't even need to turn them on. Headlights, like I said, so powerful nowadays. Dude, ridiculous. Anyway, okay. Moving off headlights and high beams. Because, man, I've talked about that for a long time. So I did realize that I started this episode without thinking of all the things I don't like before recording it, because I was so locked in on that one thing and so angry about it that I wanted to rant about it like immediately. But I did think of something, and this is actually one I've been thinking about it for a while, so you're in for another freaking rant here. Dude, those people in classes, this is very big in lecture halls because there's like 500 people and it's not as normal for someone to raise their hand. So if you're like pre-college, you might not get this as much, but I'm sure there's still been that rare case of this happening. I just know for me it wasn't a big deal in high school or whatever, and then in college I like cannot stand it. Dude, if you ever in class feel the need to correct the teacher on something that doesn't matter ultimately, can you just not raise your hand? I've been in multiple classes where you have like the subject of the class or the subject of the lecture, and that subject is like this one main idea, and the teacher is explaining that main idea, and then all of a sudden, and they're using like a hypothetical to explain that idea. They're using like a part of history. They're like, oh yeah, the Germans in World War II, they did this, blah, blah, blah. And then literally without fail, someone always raises their hands and goes, actually, the Germans also did this in World War II, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like kind of related, but like, dude, are you just trying to prove to everyone how smart you are and how much you know about the Germans in World War II? Because let me tell you, we're in a psychology class and no one cares. Can you just not? Because all they were trying to do was make a point, and their point makes sense even with what you added. So why do you have to add that? You're slowing down the class and you're being annoying. And when you do that like 6 or 7 times throughout a lecture, oh my God. And man, if you are raising your hand like 5 times during a lecture, every lecture, and like most people aren't raising their hands, maybe dial it back just a little bit. Maybe a little bit, or at least evaluate if what you're saying is like adding to the class at all in any sense. Cause oh my God, like the amount, literally I was in a class the other day and like these 5 people, we like got to this one slide. And it was like defining a term. We were comparing a couple definitions of this term to like get a broader understanding of the term as a whole and how we use it in society. I know, terrifying. But it's like very like day one stuff. I mean, like defining terms, like you do that in every freaking class. But man, like we literally stopped on that slide for like 40 minutes because these 5 people kept going in a circle, raising their hands, talking 4 or 5 times each, at piggybacking off the other ones about like some random tangent. And it's like, dude, just let us move on. Please, this is like the most boring part of the class. We're just defining a term. Let the term be defined, and let's get going, man. This isn't a Socratic seminar, and we're not being graded for participation. Why do you all have to go in a circle and talk about how freaking smart you are? It's silly. Yes, during a class, sometimes I'll think, oh, this is an interesting thing that I can connect to this. That doesn't mean I raise my hand and share it to 500 other people who don't care. Because just because I find something interesting doesn't mean everyone else will. Maybe I'll write it down. Maybe that's the most I'll do. I'll go to my notebook and I'll write down, oh, this connects to this, blah, blah, blah. And that'll also help me remember whatever we're learning in class because I connected it to something else I know. Great study tip, whatever. Dude, do not raise your hand and tell everyone and hold the class up for so long. Because what happens is these people are asking clarifying questions about their own interests, and like everyone else is just kind of like sitting there waiting for the lecture to move on, and everyone else is like communally groaning, like not like loudly, but like you can kind of hear it every time someone raises their hand or gets called on. It's like, oh my god. And I've had a bunch of teachers shut this down, like very obviously and regularly, because it happens so often. But the teacher I have in this class, I don't know why. I don't know why they're hesitating, but holy crap. Like shut it down. Because what do we even talk? How did we even get to this subject? Why are we doing this? It's just so infuriating. Those aren't actually people, man. Can we just not raise our hands? And like, I want to clarify. I don't like actually hate these people. I'm sure they're nice people. And I'm sure they're just like, they really like learning. And they want to like add to their learning by interacting with the class. But like, if perchance you're someone and you're in college and you're raising your hand 5-6 times per lecture and it's not relevant, just like write it down, you know? Obviously, like, I'll talk a lot in class because I love talking. I mean, obviously I'll talk a lot in class when it's something that we were like asked about, or if it's something that we like went into study groups and then we like came up with and then we share it with the class. Like, sometimes I'll be that person, and I like to ask questions that are like really important for like what we're talking about, but like they gotta understand, like, you gotta know the difference, because there are just questions that are related to the topic and there are questions that are just like kind of related. Like, dude, if they're doing a hypothetical and you feel the need to raise your hand about their hypothetical, don't. They're just making a point. Let them make their point. It's okay. It's all right. They don't need the exact history from 1941. I don't know when that happened. I'm not a World War II buff. That's not my specialty. Okay, guys? Sue me! Anyway, that's it for this video. I've ranted long enough. I've gotten all my anger out for today. Watch my other videos, guys. I post a lot of gaming content nowadays because I've been streaming, and I have a lot of time to edit, but not a lot of time to stream because I have my roommate here a lot of the time. And I feel weird like recording and streaming when he's here. Sometimes I still will, but like I'm also like I'm much more often like sitting down to edit now. I really like doing it, and I have a lot of fun, and I think I make things that are like funny. So like, if you don't normally watch gaming content, you don't gotta, man. It's not your cup of tea, that's fine. I'm gonna keep making these videos regularly. That's never gonna stop. This is so fun for me, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback over it. So gonna keep doing these. But like, perchance, if you do watch gaming content, give it a try. And if you feel the need to give me feedback or something like that, don't. No, I'm kidding. Do. But do it in like my Discord or something. I have a suggestions channel. I have stuff like that. Or you can do it in the comments. I don't freaking care, man. I may or may not take it, whatever. But I'm just working to improve that content, and I am really passionate about it. So let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Thanks. And thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, if you're new here. These don't get shown to many new people. So if you're new here, stay! No, I'm kidding. Shh. Hey, shh. I was kidding. It's okay. You can leave at any time. But just think about staying. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed me standing for a video. Fun, right? Fun. Okay. I appreciate you so much. Bye.